Hey, what's up, everybody? It's another week. Here we are back at the SR Synth Weekly little world that I have here. I've got some great music, got some new music, got some people I've played before, even got a collab of two groups. So let's just jump right in and just get started. First up today, we have The Less Dead. Cool group out of Japan, out of all the places I haven't played before. I finally got Japan on there. So the song they sent me today is called "Try Not to Move." There's a little description of it, and it just says big drums and big pads laced with sprinkle of chips for giggles. That doesn't help. No, seriously. This is one of those tracks that just gives you that nice little feel. It's kind of like a return feel, and what I mean by that is the main character is returned. He's like at the end of the movie. The main character's returned after defeating the bad guy. They thought he was lost. He's returned. And he's freed all. I like using fantasy movie here. It's like he's returned all the magic in the world and freed the world from the darkness. And you can see it showing the light starting to come through, and the sky is clearing up from the darkness or evil that's been in there. It gives me that vibe. That whole the main character has gotten into that. He's beating everybody and he's returning to everybody. And as he returns, everything starts turning back to the light, so to speak. So I like that vibe. That's kind of what it gives me. Also, it kind of gives me this, on the same token, it kind of gives me that the main is watching the aftermath of a world that he and his team have, they've beaten the bad guy, and it's revolving back to normal state, after corruption or, whatever. You can just see the world just starting to get better and more livelier as it used to be, and it just starts lightening. Like I said before, I don't know, it just gives me that, it's freed. That's kind of what it gives me. So, I like that vibe. So, let me know what you think, as always. And here it is for today. We got The Less Dead, and the song is called Try Not to Move. like I said, I kind of like that returning, you know, and he's defeated everybody and all, you know, everything's just turning back to light and turning back to normal. Just kind of gives me that vibe. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, you know, make sure you follow them and buy all their stuff. Next up, we have a collaboration between our good friends Frisky Monkey and Bettogh. The song they sent me today is called Hey You. Really cool song. Their little description is, Frisky Monkey and Bettogh combine forces to bring you a funky synthwave song. I'm going to go with that, and I kind of went with a little bit a little different idea. I kind of went with a first meeting of the main and the new lover. And what I mean by that is, you know, you've seen them as the main. We've already got the little exposition of the main. Now we're finding out who his love interest is, and they kind of meet in the tech club, or, you know, I like using tech clubs. You know, like those techno futuristic clubs. That's kind of my vibe on those. But they meet in a tech club and they start to dance the night. And we get an exposition between the two, finding out that they're the main characters of this story just before the main story hits. And it just, you know, they just kind of get that whole click together, and we get that whole vibe of them, you know, coming together. Also kind of gives me, on a separate note, it also kind of gives me as a kind of like a main loner cop movie. And what I mean by that is, like, the main cop has entered a building of bad guys and has to go through like a riddle. And I used, in my notes here, I used the nightclub setting, but it's more like, you know, he's got to go through some riddles of different groups, different minions, and has to beat them all, and it kind of gives that whole setting. And we see the main just quickly dispatching everybody, but it kind of gives you that upbeat tempo. And you know, he's got to go through all these riddles and minions, and the evil's watching, kind of like him going up a tower, and the main bad guy's watching it, and, you know, you see him, you see all these women around him doing their little sexy thing, you know, while he's watching it. It's kind of like a main area is a big club area, and he's having a good time watching the cop have to go through all this stuff. So it just gives me that vibe. I was thinking of the movie, but as usual, I can never think of the title. So if you can think of that setting that I thought of, let me know. But definitely check it out today. It's Frisky Monkey and Bettogh, and the song is called Hey You.
Hey you, I don't need your name. Hey you, wanna play my game? Come on baby, come on baby, take me home. Come on baby, you don't need to be alone. Oh tonight. Let me break it down for you. No need to take it slow. Let me break it down for you. Let it all go. Go, go, go. Go ahead and give in to all your desires. Come on, baby. Take me home. Come on, baby, you don't need to be alone. Oh, tonight.
I kind of lean. I like the the main and the new lover meeting. That's the main vibe I get from that. So, but let me know what you think in the comments. And like I always say, follow them and all the other stuff. Next up, we have SubClass. The song they sent me today is called "If I Fall." This is a good electronic group based out of Birmingham, UK. They put it as a upbeat of melodic electronics. This could actually work on pretty much anything electronic, synth, synthwave. It works. So it's got a good voice to it. Just to start off with that. But my vibe I'm getting from this is the main character and the lover had an incident, and the main has got to save them. But they've already saved it, and they've it's either going to be a lost or the kidnapping. The main is there to save them mentally, physically, whatever. As they're together, they're in a loving embrace, and you see where the main is there to make sure the other is safe while showing them, they're kind of showing them both in love. It kind of gives that vibe right there, where they're all. I use the kidnapping one on this one, but the main is being kidnapped. The lover's been kidnapped, and the main saved him, and they've he's like, here I am, and they get the love, and you can just see the love in that. Next is also I kind of went on a like it's not Better Off, well yeah, Better Off Dead kind of feel. If you've seen that movie, it's really cool. Or One Crazy Summer, that's more what I'm thinking of. The main is just one, the main race or whatever, and he's beating the unbeatable bad guy, the one with all the money, the corporation or whatever. He's got all those corporate sponsors, and no one could beat him. He's like, just a total douche. And the main is beating him in the big race. And we see him winning. We see the main character winning, and towards the end of the movie, it gives you that, that 80s feel where everybody, where the lover is suddenly drawn. That we've seen them trying to get together all there, but we see the lover finally getting up with the the lover meets with the main and crabs in the embrace, and then you see them walking off, heroic, like he's beating, that kind of whole feel, while the bad guy broods, and they walk off in love, and that's where the movie ends. I like that feel a lot better, but both works, because it kind of work at the same, kind of work same genre, but I kind of like that, so it works perfectly for this song. So let me know what you think in the comments, and check it out. It's SubClass, and it's If I Fall. apologies if it seems a little rushed today, and I'm speaking a little faster than normal. As I'm so pressed for time this week because everything's going crazy. I'm literally doing this while working. So apologies ahead of time if it seems a little fast. So just tell me to slow the hell down. Anyway, I hope you like that song. I like it. I like the feel of the good, the lover deal. Beating the bad guy and walking off in the sunset. Next up today we have Cosmic Vertigo, and the song they sent me today is called So True. Cool. They call themselves a Psywave, synth organic. It works. It's a wave. They're based out of Portland, Oregon, and it's a synth funk with that unsettling CV feel, as they describe it. Not really sure what that means. So, but we'll go with it. I get this whole mix between techno and magic. And I mean by the main has been chosen, the main character, and has been chosen by the cosmic forces, and you can start to see the change. The beginning of it all, and you see the light shining over them as they change, and the change is happening. Then when in the main song, when the drums hit, the main character shown from the bottom, that whole little, pan up to show that the whole change has been complete, and they're a whole new magic or whatever. And it's like they got the bottom up new suit or completely different, and the team is in awe as they show, as the main character is showing off the power and the whole change in attitude because it's been given all this power and knowledge, and now they know, and now the main knows what to do. That's the main one I go for. As always, I try to get 2 in there. So the second one also kind of gives me, that town is being destroyed, and the evil is rising up with no hope. The town has no hope, nothing going on. And then the main shows up, and, you start seeing them walking in the town, and he's taking out the evil, and it's got that kind of like heroic glow and finesse, charm feel going on with it as he's doing it. He's just beating the hell out of everybody, but at the same time, he's not putting any effort into it. That's kind of what the vibe gives me. I like the first vibe of the whole, changing a person, changing into something else because they're chosen. So that's my main vibe I'll go with. But like I said, check it out. Really good song. Again, it's Cosmic Vertigo, and the song is called So True. like I said, it kind of gives me that cosmic, chosen one kind of feel. So, so that's what I went with. So let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, like I always say, follow everybody on here, and follow everybody on my past episodes too. And also follow and subscribe me. Next up, we have the group Dead Selfie. And that kind of threw me off at first, so that that was a cool name. The song they sent me is "Light the Room." They call themselves a Detroit techno and indie dance. Obviously, they're based out of Detroit, and it says "Be the light in the room." That's their description. This is a good song, and I kind of went with the light, but I also went with like tunnel vortex kind of deal. What I mean by that is, I went with the team is opening a portal or vortex, and we see them doing the whole programming, building the whole system. And each section of the song is different parts of the building process. And then as they turn it on, it turns in dazzling. It kind of gives a whole new world showing through that vortex. And then the team enters, and this is where the second part comes in. The team has entered a section where the gravity and magic have become intertwined, and as they traverse the area, and they're having to deal with the whole, new gravity, new world, the whole vortexes out there, and the lights and sounds, and they make it through. About the second part of the song, and then the first part of the song is in building it, and the second part is as, whole going through the whole, the whole deal and walking through it, and looking through this whole area. It's a really cool song. That's the vibe I get, because I like the vortex and tunnel theories. kind of like that whole, not theory, but that whole feel. So let me know what you think. Like I said, check it out, and here it is. It's Dead Selfie, and the song is called "Light the Room."
Alright, so I'm pretty sure I invented this. I'm not positive, but I've never seen anyone do it before.
I don't know, what'd you think? Does that give you that kind of like vibe of Vortex and building a whole machine and then going through a whole new world? That just gives me that feel. I don't know why. Some say it might come up like a robot deal, but I've used that a few times, so I don't know. I've used that too much, and I wanted to go something a little different. Next up today, I thought I could go a week without having a name. I'm going to screw up, but this is not the case. I'm going to screw it up badly. The group is either called VVarren or Warren. If you look in the description, you'll understand what I mean. The song they sent me today, I'm also going to screw up. It's called Kowloon 87. I hope I say that right. Anyway, they're a synthwave group out of, I'm going to screw up the name too, Dunedin, New Zealand. Anybody from New Zealand, I apologize. I cannot pronounce that. Anyway, the song they sent me is Kowloon 87, and it's a ballad. As I describe it, it's a synthwave ballad that takes you on a journey. It kind of gives me that whole, he says journey. I kind of went with a different kind of journey. Because every time we see a journey, we keep thinking, oh, it's just, you know, they're taking a journey to the beach or they're taking a journey into space. I went with a mental journey and a life journey. And you'll understand what I mean by here. I went with the main character is building a doll. And we see after the building, the doll comes to life. As the doll's living, and we see the whole montage through the song, we see the montage of the new life. It's learning and becoming more aware of how to be alive. And as we see that, as the main and the doll are learning, living each other, and the doll's learning how to become more alive, so is the main character. And the main is starting, the builder, the Geppetto to Pinocchio, so to speak, is also learning about themselves internally as they're teaching the doll. That's the main vibe I got. I don't know why I came up with that, but it just gave me that feeling. It's kind of like a learning, growing experience for each. Also kind of gives me that. Sorry, the main and his lover is they've crossed into a new realm, and where everything that we consider fantasy has become true. This is kind of like they've entered a new realm where everything fantasy is almost fantasy, but they are shown wandering through the world and all its wonders as they conversing with the people, the children, and they're conversing everything before the main story hits. They've fallen into this different world. It's kind of like a whole fantasy world compared to what their normal lives are, and we see them just kind of at the beginning, going through this world, different towns and meeting different people before the main story hits. Both work for me. It kind of gives me that both, living, they're kind of like it's a new life and new world feel. So let me know what you think. I like that feel, but let me know what you think in the comments, and also check out the rest of the stuff. It's really awesome, so definitely check it out. Here it is, and again, I apologize. VVarren, and the song is called Kowloon 87. I don't know. Like I always say, everybody has their opinion on what they feel, different vibes and different, different ideas. My vibe, I still like that doll coming to life. I I may have thought of it from a steampunk story, but you know, it all works in kind of like a fantasy, and they're both learning from each other, and they're both growing together. That's kind of what I want to come up with. But definitely check it out and check out the rest of their stuff. Last up today, we have Jeff plus Content. I hope I said that right. I should have asked. It's a good synthwave group out of Massachusetts, and the song they sent me today is called Run. And they put the description as, it's a face-to-face with a terror. A young boy runs for his life. He bolts from his remote home in the woods, heading for nearby railroad tracks. Run is from the soundtrack All That Remains, which is a historical fiction story. It's out on Bandcamp and everything else. I went with that. I kind of went with that, but I kind of went with a different version of that, if that makes sense. I went with the main character is hunting and searching for an alien bounty. So they're kind of like a bounty hunter. They've been charged with hunting him down and taking him back. We see them on we see them on a distant planet, and they're chasing after the bad alien and going through the area till they catch up and catch it. That's the main first one I came up with instead of the child, but it's not really terror, but it's more like they got to move on and they got to catch this. And we see, this also gives me that same vibe as an earlier song from last week. I put, you got the main characters and the evil face to face for the final time. Each side is showing up first. You see that whole, everybody comes in at different points. Kind of like, I want to go with like a Mad Max style. Each car shows up from the bad guy and each, from the good side. And they do that huge stare down before the main fight that will determine the winner. Then we see during the song, we see each of the main characters going through their own fighting sequence, during the battle, and we see the kind of like each one doing their own bit, winning or losing or whatever. Kind of gives me that vibe on both. It could actually work on both. It could be the alien bounty hunter ends up in a war. So it kind of works out for that on both of them. So let me know what you think. Really good group. I've been following them a little while, so definitely check it out. And here it is. It's Jeff plus Content, and the song is called Run. That's it for this week. Again, I apologize if it seemed to kind of rushed and a little fast today. Like I said, this week's been kind of hectic with work and everything. So I hope it still works out, and I hope everybody liked the music at least, because that's the main thing. I'm just an idiot redneck explaining, what I think in a movie. As I always say, if you like the groups, make sure you buy their music and check out all their their sites, and then also, buy a t-shirt from them. Also, if you like my show and if you're new here, please like and subscribe. That helps me out. More subscribers and means more views, and that gets everybody gets to enjoy this music and all these all these new groups that are out there that they need to be heard. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see everybody next week with some great new music. Hopefully it won't be as bad as this one. Anyway, everybody has a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.